boost yet again.
Yeah, it's been pretty common. We'll see if that ends up getting changed around. I know last time you mentioned, hey, you know, Volibear kind of wants Flash because of Lulu. We'll see if he makes that difference for himself. And of course, now EG knows about you know, the top lane matchup. Oh my gosh, they've locked in Malzahar. And in the words of Crawley, when you play an unplayed champion that no one else really plays with, you don't know how to play against it. So who knows how to play against Malzahar?
Wow.
No one.
So we were talking about Froggen coming up big for his team, stepping up, and it looks like he might be doing it here. Malzahar, he's so strong in lane. Like, you don't see him like you're just saying, but he is so strong in lane because once he hits level 6, it's almost a guaranteed kill every time you get there, unless your jungler's there to interrupt him. I'm curious to see what outs wants to run against that, if he is going to run anything in specific. But wow, I'm curious to see how well that works. And then Wicked most likely going to be on that Malphite in the top lane.
I mean, week 8 of LCS, we've seen the first time for Ziggs, we've seen the first time for Annie, now we've seen the first time for Malzahar. You've got a lot of new things coming in right now. I'm excited to see what this EG lineup does.
Yeah. Oh, God. That's just going to be amazing to see in lane. I hope our cameraman is paying attention because every time you see anyone start to drop in health, it's probably, or at least in the mid lane, Froggen ulting him, and they're probably going to go for a kill. That's going to be really exciting to see. But as you mentioned before, Kha'Zix was available for Gambit. Looks like they will lock that in. Your crystal ball is very spot on today.
Well, so this is what helps, by the way. So Jap mentioned this as well. He said once you start to understand the players, like not even just looking at pick rates, whatever, when you actually start to just look at and understand the players, you get a really good feel for what they play, right? Like, I can tell you, like, hey, Alex plays all in Assassin Bros, right? He played a bunch of Diana, he played a bunch of Evelynn, he played a bunch of AP Master Yi, a bunch of Zed, a bunch of Kha'Zix, and you're like, you just kind of go down the line inverse alphabetically, and you're just going to pick the next one. Yep. Right, Zed, okay, Kha'Zix, okay, Elise, and okay, Diana, right? And it's like literally in order. He just picks those champions. And so,
yeah,
wait,
that's what I
was like, if that was Alexa, I was like, is that Jungle Malzahar? And I was like, what? And
you've done Jungle Malzahar before.
It's fun. Jungle AD Malzahar is awesome. If you're not playing it, you should play it.
Thank you for ruining solo queue now for the next couple of weeks, Freak. I appreciate that. But we do see Akali actually being locked in. So we'll have Wicked in the top lane with Akali. We will have Snoopy in the jungle with Malphite, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
And we've seen Wicked use Akali in week 1. It caught people off guard. Sorry, it was week 2. Caught people off guard. No, it was week 1 as well. Sorry, caught people off guard is what I was trying to say. And we'll see how well it does yet again. That strong assassin champion can just really blow people up.
Yeah, like the thing is, so the EG lineup, right? They've got so much single target all in, so they can all get locked down by Yellow Pete and locked down by Crepo, right? You've got Snoopy, Froggen, and Wicked. I think they're just switching around to screw with us. I mean, whatever.
I kind of hope not.
That said, I'm not even gonna say it. I'm just gonna wait. I'm gonna get trolled by Snoopy, right? Malzahar jungle's still a thing. Gonna swap in to troll us. It doesn't matter. We know it's gonna be Wicked on Akali. We know. And then we'll see the rest of it. But they've got so much all in on single target, they could kill that guy outright. And the thing is, Malphite versus Shen is not the best matchup for Malphite, actually. He doesn't fight against Shen all that well. So even though we can, and don't
ruin it. Don't ruin it.
Okay.
Wait till we get in the game. There's a surprise for everyone.
There's a surprise for everyone when the game starts. That's all we're saying. That's all we're saying. All right. Of course, now we can see EG up on your screens right there. You see their faces. I mean, you're just gonna have to sit and wait. Don't turn your monitor. Here we go. The lineups. It is Jungle Malzahar. It is Akali in mid, and it is Malphite.
This is gonna be interesting, and not to mention, it will be an 80 Malzahar. Freak, can you, before we get fully... I did check, he has armor pen. So before we get fully into this,
okay,
can you actually run us down real quick? Actually, sorry, he does have 7 ability power, so maybe just has the % armor pen for the jungle.
He has % armor pen, not flat. Okay, so here's the way, for what it's worth, Voidlings work. They have a base damage, but they also scale off of Malzahar's attack damage, and they deal physical damage themselves. So they count his armor pen, and they count his attack damage. So if you built a Bloodthirster, Voidlings deal 100 extra damage. If you get cooldown reduction, you can get 2 out at a time, and they enrage, dealing bonus damage and attacking faster. They eviscerate the heck out of people, and they will always target the target of your ultimate. Failing that, they will target the target of your E, Malefic Visions. Failing that, they will target the target of your basic attacks. So you can direct them to destroy the heck out of people.
And I've seen you run this. We played a game together, and you would just 1v1 people. They'd be like, oh, I can kill this guy. It's a jungle Malzahar, and you just shred them apart.
Because you can kite them. Your Voidlings follow you. When they enrage once, they get bonus movement speed. And so you can run around kiting and like troll laughing, and no one expects Voidlings to do 400 damage a hit, and they do.
how important is cooldown reduction then, since you can have multiple void lanes out at once?
It really depends. So you can put out 4 abilities, so you can kind of have one out and then do a rotation and get another one out very, very quickly. That said, this is what Snoopy's done. So by the way, he has cast 2 abilities in the fountain, used a 3rd ability to start the raise. His 4th ability will summon a voidling here. So you will have a voidling to tank and deal damage to the lizard camp here. So he's just cast out, the voidling is there, and it's going to start tanking for him.
Wow, and he is just like you were saying before, decimating that red buff. We'll be able to lock that down without a smite here. And we'll see how well this jungle Malzahar can work out, because, I mean, his auto attack range isn't amazing, but if you can get that red slow applied and then get like a silence or something right off of that, you can lock them down so they won't be able to flash away. But we do have quite a few lane swaps coming in. So we have Froggen on Akali in the top lane versus Darien on his Shen. We have both AD carries and supports in the mid lane going head-to-head. And in the bottom lane, like you're saying, Malphite loses to Shen. We have Kha'Zix against him.
And that's a much, much better matchup for Wicked. So that's, I guess, these players knowing the champions more. This actually feels against all authority, where they know the champions really, really well, and they say, screw the lanes. Oh my gosh, Wicked taking so much damage, forced to flash away from Alex Ich. Now he has teleport. He could always leave and come back, or just chug potions.
I think he's actually, I think he's gonna go for the potion chugging, because that teleport going down early, I mean, that's such a key spell to have up as the game goes on. I mean, if you get that first blood onto the mid or top lane, it can really snowball, especially with Akali. I mean, if you get her 1 kill early on, she is just gonna destroy Shen as the game does go on. We do have Subi, he picks up his blue buff, and the thing is, how do you gank with Malzahar? I talked a little bit about applying the red buff slow, but
it's not a lot of damage, honestly. It's more like a Shyvana jungle or a Mundo jungle, where you have some crowd control, but you're kind of there as a damage source overall in the game. So you're going to see Snoopy farm a fair bit. He's got pretty quick jungle speeds overall. Voidlings help a lot. He's also pretty safe, doesn't take a lot of damage, and you'll see what comes out of this. He actually is looking for the gank in the mid lane, though. Genja taking a bunch of punishment from Yellow Pete. Krepo's coming in there as well. Exhaust is down, forces the flash away from Genja, but Diamond is here for the counter gank. And the Q does reveal Brush, and he says, okay, we're going to back out.
But that was without Snoopy doing any damage to him, but it still pushed him out quite hard. But Edward, he does have heal. He is on Sona, and we'll be able to keep him alive in the jungle as they do finally ward up that mid lane on both sides. And we're seeing the game. It started off very interesting, but it's gone kind of slow right off the bat. But we'll see how well it develops over time. And I'm curious to see how well Snoopy's ultimates actually work in these team fights.
They'll definitely be able to lock someone down. Even if it's Alex Ich, they can just destroy that bug. Call him the exterminator of this game, because that will happen. We can see Yellow Pete and Krepo still up in the mid lane. Of course, a very heavy push lane here for themselves. Misfortune and Sona trying to stay alive against this. The poke coming out from Krepo is nice. You can see him landing the double Qs there pretty frequently. That is really the big skill for Lulu, is can you land E into 2 Qs? And that's a big deal right here. So, Wicked Alex still in this lane, 24-14. Alex is winning this matchup right now, and that is a very important thing. If Alex gets free farm on Kha'Zix, he destroys people.
Yeah, that should be expected, though, against a Malphite. I mean, you have way more damage than he can really deal with. Once he gets the armor, like the Sunfire Cape, he should be able to handle you quite well. But Alex, yeah, as long as he's getting free farm and he's not being shut down in a lane, he's just going to be so deadly as the game goes on. And I'm really curious to see if EG is going to let that happen or not.
One thing to point out, though, is Alex has burned all of his potions and already used his red elixir. So he has spent all of his 475 starting gold, and it's consuming through all of it. Wicked still has some potions left, so we'll see how that pans out throughout the game, because Alex has spent a heck of a lot of money just to get this far ahead in lane. Wicked puts his ward down as his lane is pushing down, and we'll see what happens. Darien still heads up against Froggen up top. And this one, ooh, aggression coming in from Darien. They've got the Wither coming off. Froggen stealths. He pops his Shroud down. Will he have enough counterattack damage? He's trying to wait around. What, can he get away from this at all? He's trying to get away, I don't know if he can. It's still very close. He's got kind of positioning up on his opponent, but here comes the Ghost. He's got the Wither as well. Froggen, he's not in a good place. He tries to find Darien. No, first blood comes in for Diamond.
Great job by Gambit to really delay that as long as possible, really kite him around. If Froggen was level 6, that would have been a guarantee kill, but we talked about how hard a lane can snowball, and now getting Shen that first assist in the top lane, getting that first kill over Diamond, they're going to have a nice bit of tankiness and coverage over in the top lane. And before we see this develop even more, what do you build on AD or on this Malzahar in the jungle?
It really depends on the build he's actually going for, because you mentioned he only got the % armor pen, but not flat armor pen. So it honestly could be AP Malice. He's got 17 ability power right now, so he has some flat for himself. But Lizard Elder tends to work pretty well, just because you have a lot of jungle speed out of that one. He's already finished that first big piece. Genja takes a bunch of damage in the mid lane, though. To be fair, I'm not much of a jungle mouse expert. My predictions will probably be pretty bad.
You know a lot more than I do about it. I will give you that any day of the week.
Okay.
We do see in the mid lane, I just want to take our camera there for a split second, is that we do have a pink ward in the bottom side of the river. We had one down for EG, but it looked like Gambit noticed that and put one down to counter it. So it looks like EG was trying to create an opportunity for Snoopy to come in through the bottom side and go for a gank onto Genja, since he doesn't have that flash up anymore, but it was shut down by Gambit.
Okay, and now we can see if the bottom lane, or the bottom side, ends up being the inlet for Diamond himself. Alex goes in again on a Wicked. Look at the damage output. He's not been isolated, though. Alex is going to go into this one, though. He's popped the Ignite. He's got the passive trigger twice, slows him down, brings him to half health. But Wicked has already got that Shane Vest and is not getting shoved out.
Yeah, that was him using his ultimate, using every ability, even his Ignite, and he still can only get him down to half health. That's what we were talking about before. You know, if Wicked gets a little bit tanky, there's not really much Alex can do against him. However, you know, Wicked should be able to kill him in a 1v1 anyway, so Alex should be able to get that free farm where he's currently beating his counterpart Froggen, or currently was, in the top lane.
And they have both back for items once, so you're seeing Tier versus Chain Vest. Snoopy is lurking around the bottom half of the map, of course. Remember, he's been revealed by that ward, but he knows that Diamond has started red buff. And look at Diamond's positioning. He's actually waiting around in the fog, trying to basically flank Snoopy. Snoopy puts a ward down, and he is trying to look around.
He knows.
He does know. He walked by a ward, and he hasn't left. Diamond now heads up against Snoopy. Who's going to have the damage output? They are both, sorry, only Snoopy is level 6, so he has the ult, whereas Diamond does not.
I don't really know what went on in their head right there, because EG knew that there was a pink ward in that bottom side of the river, and he walked right by it, and then he was still sticking around trying to go in. In the end, luckily he didn't get killed. He will be returning back to his own jungle, and he is level 6, and this is where you would assume the ganks would really pick up, because if he can hold someone down with that ultimate, the other person in the lane is just going to dominate them, because they have pretty good damage except the bot lane, which, I mean, you really wouldn't expect a Malphite to be able to kill Kha'Zix, especially when he can leap away.
Generally speaking, I mean, you know, you can try to do the crowd control chain overall and then just let Froggen move up. They're going to go in for the pressure up, and Darian dropping lower and lower on health. Here comes Snoopy, lands the silence, and there's the Nether Grasp. So much damage going on. He's going to flash dash away. Snoopy, he's not in range. He pulls turret aggro, and that's going to allow Froggen to jump in, and he jumps back to the one minion that followed them through. Snoopy pulled aggro to let Froggen dive. Nice play.
And that is what we were talking about with Jungle Malzahar. He gets that silence on you. You can't do anything. Then he can ult you and lock you down. He didn't get his Malefic Vision onto Darren right back. We see Alex coming in.
Oh my gosh,
out of nowhere.
Flash for, he popped the ult as well. Look at the damage. Picks up Froggen pretty much for free. I mean, burns some cooldowns, but still, really nice pickup there. Now, Yellow beat in a duel against Genja. Ult comes off from Krepo. He dives in. Genja forced a flash back as well. And they've now burned a heck of a lot of summoners from both sides.
They did, but they've had Genja without a flash this entire time in this mid lane right now. And this pretty much gives a free kill to Soupy if he wants to come in. We do have Crescendo up for Edward, so we could shut it down. But if they position correctly, you cannot kill both, or you cannot stop both of them from attacking you. In the meantime, we are seeing Diamond Fox take away the blue buff, which you would most likely need on Malzahar, especially since you are going AP at this point. And now it's picking up his own blues. So Gambit doing a great job of controlling EG's jungle at this point. And we've seen many teams do this to them. We've seen SK do it to them back in at Gamescom. We've seen EG do it to SK in Season 2, or in Week 1 or Week 2 of LCS. And now Gambit's doing it to them.
Yeah, this is actually an incredibly impressive move right here. The ult, of course, does burn a lot of health off of Dragon. You can see it get eviscerated right there. Diamond's going to get that one for free. Nice Dragon pickup, completely uninterrupted. Just had the map control. And as an update on Snoopy, he's actually going for the Spectral Wraith jungle item instead. So he's going to have cooldown reduction, some spell vamp, and some more AP-based Malzahar.
Yeah, and that's what asking about cooldown reduction, because it makes your jungle clear a lot faster, but you want that ultimate up as much as possible in these fights to hold someone down. Only thing is, are we going to see a lot of interruption come out of Gambit? We do see lane swaps happening. So we saw Wicked go towards the top side of the map. However, he is now running, or he was running down towards middle, and we have Froggen heading up towards the top side yet again. The mid lane is left completely open. It looks like Snoopy will be able to hold it himself with that red buff. No blue, unfortunately, for him.
There's no ward that sees them come in here. He's got the ult. He's going to land it onto Darian. No dash away. Froggen's going to go in as well. He's been taunted, but it's Wicked who's pulled turret aggro. Look at the damage under Darian. No flash on him at all. Wicked starts to run backwards. Froggen picks it up with an ignite tick. That is a free kill. Nice pickup there, EG.
And you don't want to feed in Akali at this point. He's just going to destroy you, especially when you're squishy with Misfortune, Sona, and Kha'Zix. But Froggen, after getting shut down in the beginning with that first blood onto him, picking up 2 kills consecutively, and he's going towards his revolver, it looks like, or sorry, his gunblade with that cutlass.
Yeah, this team is about single target burst and taking someone down. Malzahar and Akali both excel at grabbing a kill. You saw just the 2 of them killed a tank in Shen. I mean, he's got a bunch of health, almost got a Warmog's done, and they still took him down underneath his turret of all places. So Gambit, they've got their work cut out for them, because this EG lineup is very gank heavy. And just as one extra point on Malzahar, he functions a bit like a Malphite jungle, where you try to gank every ult because you've got the free lockdown for it.
Right. And that was actually a really good play by EG in general. Be back on your screen very shortly, as it does right there. And we do have still the 80 carry support bot lane for EG, and they are trying to push Alex out of this lane. He has a blue buff on him. If they could steal this away from him, it'd be really great, but obviously it wouldn't go to the right target, or the target they would want it to in the end.
Alex is forced back right now. Genja going to take over this bottom lane. And I want to sort of, as we now get crest kind of the midpoint of this game, to point out who are the big threats right now. So Gambit Gaming, because of their dragon and equal kills, are actually up 1,000 gold. So Gambit are winning, quote-unquote, in this game so far. Now, the gold, however, is concentrated onto Akali. Froggen's got 3,400 gold, is not quite the richest in the game, but certainly pretty much more or less richest on Evil Geniuses. But you're seeing Darian and actually more so really Diamond and Alex Ich be the big forces here for Gambit Gaming.
Yeah, we talked about kill spread last game with Fnatic and SK and how Fnatic had a perfect spread across their carries. But you're seeing right now that, like you're saying, all the kills are stacked up on Froggen. At this point, if Gambit can kill Froggen, he'll be out of the game. There goes a lot of their damage. Obviously, Varus, it doesn't really affect him too much because he's going to put a ton of damage as the game goes on anyways. But then you have the spread of 1 kill onto Diamond, 1 kill onto Alex Ich, and you have 1 assist over to Darren. So they have that gold spread out a little bit more. And that will give them the tankiness they need and the damage as well.
All right, we can see now Froggen going back in for some pressure onto Darian. And this is kind of the story of their lane. They've been heads up the entire game, and they've been fighting. You look at their minion kills, they're actually quite low when you compare the 101 to 90, 58 to 75 here in this quote-unquote mid lane up at the top. And it's because they're butting heads so much, they're missing minion kills to hurt each other. However, Snoopy was waiting for a gank, but so is Diamond.
Yeah, Snoopy actually got seen by that ward in that tri-bush. We do have Alex heading up towards the top side. He will be able to spot him here, but will he be able to like collapse on it? I don't think so. But
they both back off from each other, actually. So, yeah, they're not quite fighting, but Alex actually going to find Snoopy once again. Look at the pressure onto him. Misses the silence, and he actually stealths away. Alex was afraid of the burst available. The teleport does come in. There's going to be Malphite. Are they going to go for anyone right here? It could be Edward. Yes, they land the knockup. Look at the burst damage coming out, but the crescendo is amazing. They go on to Yellow P. Look at his health bar get eviscerated. Creppo tries to keep him alive with the ultimate. He's stuck under turret, though. He's going to go down to Genja, and Diamond finds one as well. Now it's Wicked trying to run away. Diamond wants to chase this one out, but not underneath the turret, so he's going to run back. 2 for 0, though. Great pickup by Gambit.
And also, EG committed that teleport to get in there, and it wasn't able to turn it around. They did get the ultimate on Edward, but with that flash available with the crescendo, they just locked him down, and Diamond just went to town on the entire team. And I have to say, though, I think if Yellow hit that ultimate, because he missed it, it would have actually set up a kill for them, or a couple of kills, and they might not have died.
Most likely. One thing that Gambit did well is they shoved their minions into the turret, so even when Sona was knocked up by Malphite, she did not have turret aggro, so it was just Malphite's damage, and then she crescendoed everyone else as well, so there was no counterattack damage whatsoever. Of course, a great pickup by Diamond. So, Froggen, you can see 93 to 74, still ahead in his lane right now, trying to get the scaling going on. Going for, of course, a Gunblade himself, as opposed to the Ruin King that we'll see from Yellow Pete. Snoopy back to his own blue buff, and that's one of the cool things, actually, about this lineup is Froggen doesn't need it, and Wicked doesn't really need it either, so he's just allowed to get blue buffs. 10 CDR from the Lizard Elder, 20 from the blue buff.
Yeah, so at the point, because he has 2% cooldown reduction from Mastery, so he'll have that 32% this entire time, keep his ultimate on a very low cooldown. Right now, it's on a 81-second cooldown, but still that's very short, and even when he levels up, obviously it will go a little bit quicker. He is heading down towards the bottom side of the map to try to go for a gank, try to allow his AD carry and support to really, I wouldn't say get back in the game, but to kind of catch up a little bit, because we do have that 1 kill and 1 assist over to Genja.
And that is a pretty big deal. We're seeing the mid lane be the center of attention now. Alex Ich puts damage on the Wicked, but again, Wicked is tanky. Yeah, he broke his shield. Sorry, the passive went down. But Wicked has a whole truckload of armor. And again, we mentioned it, the only damage threats are really Kha'Zix and Misfortune. And of course, Diamond's Q is physical as well. Yeah, and we have Diamond, who's actually very far ahead right now. He's 2-0-1, 94 CS. He's looking very strong at this point. And you saw how tanky and how much damage he could technically do to the lineup of EG. We do have the Gunblade picked up on Akali and the Warmogs picked up on Shen. So we just saw a major damage item picked up for EG side, but a major tank item picked up for Gambit. And I wouldn't be surprised to see EG actually switch lanes up a little bit, because Akali needs to get some more kills. I mean, you don't want it to go to her every time, but you need kills coming in somewhere. Yeah, I mean, free farm's not the worst thing in the world, but because they're fighting so much, because Shen is bullying, she is actually missing the free farm. So I agree with you. I think Akali would like to scale a bit more. Malphite, you can kind of give him a garbage lane and he'll do his job no matter what. But Diamond, just like clockwork, the dragon is back up, and he also just look at the thing get eviscerated. It's not going to be out much longer, as we do have Froggen. He went head-to-head against Darren in the top lane, but wasn't able to do much. And that will be the second dragon of the game if Diamond can smite this. In fact, does. That's a lot of gold over for Gambit's side, even if, well, actually, they're ahead in kills right now, but farm, yeah, they're ahead of farm too. Yeah. So they're just ahead in this game right now. No turrets being taken just yet. Yeah. And they are against a jungle Malzahar, which, I mean, I'm assuming they're not too
knowledgeable about how it exactly works, but they've been doing a good job of shutting it down so far.
He's gotten like that one really good gank onto Darien, but he's not found an opening otherwise. Unlike someone like Malphite or even Jarvan, where you can kind of engage out of nowhere or over walls or from 1,000 range, you kind of can see Malzahar coming, and it seems that their ward coverage is good enough to not drop to that. But the team fights, we saw how scary their single target damage was before they even killed the tank Shen. I want to see what happens in the battle. Alex Ich, by the way, just rushed Quicksilver Sash.
So yeah, he realizes that he's going to probably be the target that gets locked down with that Malzahar ultimate. And since he's going to be in the front line anyways, he needs to be free. He needs to not die, and that's what we talked about, having no damage on Gambit's side if those two go down. Yeah,
and of course the taunt lands on a Frog and forces him to flash away. Of course, oh, it's going to be a fight right here. Are they going to go in on a Darien? They've got a lot of pressure on this. He just falls for free. Snoopy does have his ult available, and he goes in on a diamond. Look at the damage output there. He's getting crushed on down. Of course, Alex found a double kill across the map somewhere else, but they've traded 2 kills of their own on the top half. So 6-4 now, but oh my gosh, damage.
And you saw that was the 2 damage, well, 1.5 I'm going to say, because Snoopy doesn't have a lot of damage at this point, against the 2 tanks of Gambit, and they just shredded them down. They're going to be able to get this turret as well. They are catching up in gold, and they are not out at all right now.
I actually want to point out that Snoopy has not even put a point into null zone yet, which surprises me a bit because that has % health damage. He's against 2 high health tanks. I mean, Warmogs was the first item from Shen, and he's not even using that damage yet, so he's just using Max Malefic Visions and 1 point in Call of the Void, which is the line silence. And it's an interesting build. I would not have expected that.
Yeah, it's also a good point. Like you mentioned, like the % health. And not to mention it gets more Voidlings out. Maybe it won't. I guess it won't really clear jungle waves a lot quicker. No. But if they shut Snoopy down in terms of levels, with him not having even 1 point into it, there goes a lot of damage on EG's side.
I wouldn't be surprised to see 1 point and then AFK it, but the Q does give more silence on level up and more AoE damage. The E gives more mana back when it jumps between camps, so it allows him to sustain in the jungle more. So I understand maxing E. I even understand maxing Q second. But 1 point I still would have expected, really. But we'll see how it pans out. Of course, Snoopy is level 11 right now. He is grouped up towards the mid lane, has rank 2 ult, and it's back up in 5 seconds.
They are going for 4-man push on this middle turret, and now it looks like Genja and Edward will have to come up and defend against it, as Froggen is just sitting down there trying to get some farm, trying to catch up a little bit, at least to his counterpart Alex Ich. But that 4-man push out of EG, they can easily lock down this turret.
And Voidlings are very good at killing turrets as well. You'll see it go to town right now. Look at the health bar drop right now. Of course, Yellow Pete is helping, but they're going to go in onto Krepo. A lot of damage onto him. Here comes the silence onto Alex Ich. He is in the battle. The damage is on. They're still running away. A beautiful 2-man top finds Yellow Pete. The counter engage from Wicked. Will they find the nub? Snoopy's getting dropped low. He's going to fall as well. There's the reset. Alex trying to find another kill. No mana onto Krepo. He's diving underneath the turret for it, and he finds it. He jumps onto Wicked. They're still bringing them down. 4 deaths in Froggen. He is nowhere to be found. He's at the bottom lane, killing a turret.
I just got deja vu all over again from Alex right there, just jumping on people after killing them over and over. And that was a great counter engage, like you're saying, from Wicked to stop them when the Shen the Shen taunt went across Snoopy and went across Yellow Pete. But Gambit, I mean, they're going to take that first turret. They took 4 kills. They're probably going to take the second turret, and Froggen, who's trying to get that bottom turret, finally does. But now 10-4, 20 minutes in, 30,000 gold to 26,000. It's still relatively close, but Gambit just showing right there that they can destroy you. And you have Kha'Zix now 4-0-2. Yeah. With his QSS, so he was missing a little bit of damage, but he saw it there. It didn't matter too much.
Didn't matter too much at all. It's a 5-on-4 with the key damage threat of Evil Geniuses not in the battle, right? Yellow Pete does not have a lot of damage items, but you've got the resets from Kha'Zix, the withers from Diamond, the dashes from Darien. They will catch up to you and make you die over and over again. Gambit found a beautiful fight. We'll see what EG can do about this. It's probably going to be actually fighting with 5 people.
Well, the thing about EG's lineup is, to me, it's not about a team fight composition. It's more about picking someone off on the Gambit lineup. But because Gambit's getting so many kills, because Edward is 0-0-7, so he's Goldeneye right now, he can put a lot of wards down, and that prevents EG from getting those picks in the jungle that they want.
James Bond, indeed. We're going to see if he can take out the lasers. Darien recalling back from the bottom lane. Froggen is just being given the farm. This is pretty much par for the course for EG and Froggen. He's always kind of been the guy to get the most gold and turn the game around by himself. And he is massive, right? He's getting a lot of damage. Gunblade, he's starting on Lichbane as well. But I want to see if it's going to be enough, because we've just seen Gambit play this mid game so very well so far. 21 minutes in, guys. Again, there are 6 games at hand today, and they are all ludicrously good ones. EG right now underneath Gambit. We'll see if they can turn this one around. They're out about 5,500 gold, so we'll see if they can turn that one back. And Gambit are just you know, unapologetically taking farm.
Alex might get caught here. He is pushed up past that first turret, pulling a Singe right there, or even a Magnum. He might get caught right here. He does have a stealth to get away up right now, but EG will just end up wasting their time. And you mentioned Froggen, you know, will he have enough damage with that Gunblade, with the Sheen? And one thing that worries me is they have 4 very squishy members of their team. They have a pseudo-tankiness out of that Lulu ultimate, but Wicked's their only real tank. So if Gambit just ignores him and just goes straight for the damage, which you know, we'll most likely see Alex do, most likely see Genja do, and if Edward can land a nice crescendo, they're going to just tear through them.
Well, we'll see if the split push can actually happen. Of course, they do have teleport on Wicked, and he's got the Sunfire Cape, so he can pull some longer engages. You know, make the game run to late game because he can keep the split push going and pull aggression towards himself. Froggen is just perennially at the bottom lane, but he's got 3 friends nearby. He's gonna have to run from this one. Diamond's there, and yes, he just Spidey senses it and gets himself the heck away from that one. Good communication, but another dragon going towards Gambit.
Yep, and if you guys are wondering at home, he actually did max Spiritfire first, and then went with his Siphoning Strike right after, instead of his usual Wither as a second level up. His Q currently is at plus 258 with his 134 farm, and he's also 3-1 and 4, so he has his Aegis done, Locker done, Solar done, even Ninja Tabby's on top of that, and he is just... He's playing like he did on his Hecarim last week. He's just kind of carrying the team because he's always in the right position at the right time, and he's creating opportunities for his team to pick up these kills.
And he just finished Runic Bulwark as well, so that guy is getting massive. Alex Itch said, all right, I got the tankiness I need from the Quicksilver Sash. Well, I mean, the anti-Malzahar I need from the Quicksilver Sash, and he's now going towards that Bloodthirster. So we'll see his damage keep scaling up throughout the game. Froggen actually just stays at Sheen. He's going towards a needlessly large rod, so different build from him. Completed items are here across the board, though. Genja has Last Whisper and a Bloodthirster. We see Ruin King already done for Yellow Pete.
And we have the Death Cap in for Snoopy on top of that. He finally does have 1 point in his null zone, and it does, what, 4% plus 3% with the current AP he has to the target. And if he can just lock someone down and not be in a position to get caught by a taunt or get caught by a crescendo, like, they will chew through him. Like, that person will go down.
Yes, and remember, this does feel a little bit like a lot of comps we see, especially from like Complexity back in NA, which is Rumble Varus. And we actually saw Giants have a Zyra Rumble, which is really, really strong. If you can lock up teams in an area on top of giant AoE spells, like we see with Null Zone, you have a crazy team fight power. So both these have great AoE, but Froggen's gonna get found out in a 1 versus 2. I don't know if he has enough damage. The teleport is coming in from Malphite. Will it be enough? Will they find the kill they need? Froggen is getting chunked down, but they're gonna find Darian. He's spell vamping back alive. Flash of the wave. Froggen is still alive right now. He's gonna get traded out, and Darian is kiting. He is not going down. Wicked's getting burned out. Is it going to be enough onto Darian? Looks like Wicked's running out of mana. The shields are here from Darian. This could be a 2 for 0 in Gambit's favor. Meanwhile, Alex finds some friends as well. EG are running away from the bug. This could be scary. Snoopy does have his ultimate available. Will they turn for this one? Quicksilver Sash is still available. Looks like Wicked did get out, but now it's Crepo under fire. Oh my gosh, the damage! And the double up finds 2. They've now found Snoopy as well. He leaps forward. He now finds the taunt onto Wicked, and Wicked goes down. That is an ace. Another one for Gambit Gaming.
Holy crap, that was so well played by Gambit. You saw Diamond and Darren push up the bottom side, chasing Wicked down, and because of that, EG ended up going into a pincer move, where the rest of Gambit followed in from behind. The double up, picking up 2 kills right there, and Alex just yumping around as much as possible, picking up kills. Just wow, Gambit is playing this flawlessly.
Absolutely flawlessly. The only kills that have come from EG have been from dedicated ganks, and not so much from team fights. Gambit are, if they're good at one thing, it is brawling, and you're seeing that here. They are just picking up these kills absolutely perfectly. Froggen's still trying to get some farm. He's just not found enough of it yet. You see him going down, unable to kill tanks this time around. Gambit are just finding the engages they want.
Yeah, and the thing is, they're doing that while Wicked has teleport. Like, he's come in 2 times now against these ganks, but it didn't matter in the end. They were still able to get the kills, and were able to push Wicked out and even pick up a kill on him. You have Alex catching out Crepo right here. This might be a kill for him.
He's trying to run away. Whimsy has been used, and looks like he'll get out of this one, so Lulu survives. But yeah, you compare it really to the Fnatic SK game, where the kills were separated and split up so well amongst the lineup, and you're seeing that here for Gambit. Now they're starting off on the Baron as well, but the kills spread out so cleanly amongst damage sources. Crepo's going to ward that out. I don't know if they have the damage, though, to stop this.
Well, Gambit is missing out on a couple of ultimates, but we do have the crescendo up on Edward. It looks like they will commit to it, and they might be able to pick this up. Wicked is trying to come out from the side. He's going to be the big initiate to create an opportunity for them to go for it and to really shut Gambit down, as it looks like they will back off instead. Just trying to bait EG away. And, you know, Freak, you talked about Kha'Zix for Alex Itch being picked up, like, in picks and bans, and He's doing an amazing job right now. I'm surprised he's not banned out against him more because he's 6-0-4, and I've never seen a bad game on Kazakhs with him.
Oh, they wanted to remove the Thresh, they wanted to remove the Zed, but it just seems like when you're Alex, if Zed and Kazakhs are interchangeable, they will both just destroy your teams almost single-handedly. Wave clear comes out from Evil Geniuses, and this is actually one thing that EG does for comebacks though, is they always tend to get really, really good wave clear. So whether it's Baron going down, kills and kills and kills or whatnot, they always have a way of getting rid of the minions to stop themselves from going down, and that right now is more Snoopy and Yellow Pete than anything else. We'll see if that ends up panning out here. He takes down the golden bot.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Is Gambit cannot siege a turret against them because of that wave clear that you're mentioning. So they're going to have to go for a hard engage on them, maybe under a turret, maybe catch them off guard while they're in their jungle. Because we see the GA now done for Genja. It looks like they really want to go for the diving action. You even have a QSS on Darien. So they really want, they're really going to have to. They realize it, and they're picking up the items to go for it.
Yeah, they are a very durable team, of course. What you can do when you are so far ahead in gold, it seems that Alex taking a 1,500 gold detour for Quicksilver Sash did not really delay his real build enough to matter, of course. Evil Genius is now forced to sit in the split push, but 275 minions on Alex is a massive clip right now. He's hit exactly 10 per minute to the T. And of course, you're seeing them trying to hold up Evil Geniuses. Wicked just up in the top lane, countering the split push, trying to keep the minions down, keeping the lanes pushed out. Gambit, they're going to be ready for something very soon.
And they could easily go for Baron right now because you have Froggen in the bottom lane on Akali. Doesn't have teleport, but you have that Shen ultimate to get in, can't be interrupted. And Gambit just trying to choke EG as much as possible, taking all these jungle camps. With that Oracle, they're clearing a lot of wards. On top of that,
wow.
Do we just hear a flash go off?
Darien was forced to flash away. Froggen 1v1 winning that one, but Froggen is isolated on the bottom half of the map, and this could be risky because, again, Gambit, they've won a lot of fights in a row by just battling a 5v4 and winning it. So Froggen will recall back. Darien goes to the bottom lane to fight up against that, but of course he has his ultimate available, so it's not a big deal for him.
And we should point out a little bit the level difference on top of that, because we have, you know, Froggy's level 17, yeah, he's really far ahead, but look over to the rest of his team. You have Yellow who's 13 against the 16 of Genja, so he has tier 3 ultimate now. You have Snoopy level 14 to 15 of Diamond procs. You have Alex who's level 18 now, compared to Wicked, I guess, is the person you go for. So they have their level 3 ultimates on their key members, and that is a deadly position to be in where Gambit can just roll over you with abilities.
Yeah, even Krepo's only level 10, so he is the only guy with a rank 1 ultimate still in the game right now. The Dragon, and this is the one thing I've seen from Gambit more than any other team, is they immaculately control Dragon. When they had their game against Copenhagen Wolves last week, where Wolves were up like a gigantic number of kills, like 10 to 3 at one point, they were actually still ahead in gold. Gambit was ahead in gold because they were Dragon, and they had always taken those out. And the same thing here, even when the kill lead was equal for Evil Geniuses, Gambit was up 1,000 gold for each Dragon.
And you're seeing the result of that, just based on items purely, because we talked about the QSS being picked up fairly early on, but because of those 2-3 dragons that happen, they were able to get those items without worry. You have a lot of completed items over for Gambit compared to, you know, this is the story. Look at the AD carries.
Yeah.
You have a Last Whisper, a GA, and a Bloodthirster versus Player of the Rune King.
And a Zeal.
Well, yeah, and a Zeal. But
it's a 1,200 gold item.
But that's a huge difference in items.
I mean, even Diamond gets to actually buy some bling. He's got some luxury goods here. He's got a Spirit of the Lizard Elder, or not Lizard Elder, sorry, Spectral Ray, so he's actually doing a lot of extra magic damage here. It's got 10 CDR on it, on top of the 10. Actually, in the bottom lane, Darien fighting up against Froggen, but Froggen can't dive that. Darien just kind of runs back and says, yeah, that kind of hurt. But, of course, he has his ultimate available, and Gambit are going to start forcing Baron right now in, again, a 5v4.
And it looks like they actually want to go for an engage on the side. With the way they're positioned, they want to catch them off guard, jumping over that wall, because they do have a ward down seen right there in the jungle, as they do get the Wither on a Wicked, but I don't think they're going to commit to this. And they are just baiting EGN. The moment they get out of position, they're going to dive over that wall and just destroy them. We do have Froggen coming up towards Baron, so they are trying to go for a 5-man stop on this. And we have Darien down in the bottom lane on his Shen. Ultimate is available, and looks like they will be able to stop this Baron. All
right, Diamond is in front, happy to take some poke damage right now. Pops the ultimate, they're going to go in. Wither goes down onto the back line. Snoopy actually takes it right here. Diamond down to half health. Here comes the ult, and it's Alex Edge going right in. What's he going to find? It's Krepo down low health. The taunt comes off. Darien gets found. Where's the damage going to come off? Genja down to half health, but we don't see where Froggen is going right now. It's Diamond taking pressure, and Froggen has no health. He's been forced out of this one. Wither is on Zhonya's, but he's still going to go down. It's going to be 3 kills 4-0 right now. Yellow Pea and Wicked forced to run, but Wicked's going to get found by Alex Ich. He puts the slowdown. He's going to dive the turret right here. Look at the damage onto Wicked. He's trying to run away, Alex cleanses it out. There's the Wither as well. One more hit, and that's going to get found by Diamond. 4-0 right now, Gambit.
I love the entire fight, what EG was trying to do right there. We had Wicked and Froggen go into the backline against Genja and try to shut him down because you had Wicked protecting him. But it didn't work out because Gambit is just so far ahead at this point that Froggen could not kill Genja, could not kill Edward, and then the rest of Gambit's team just pretty much pushed EG out of the entire fight. Baron is being started right now, and Yellow Pea is the only one to really stop it here. They do not have a ward anymore in the pit, but he might be able to still with a Q. It's always a possibility.
Yeah, we'll see what he goes for. He's still in the brush right now. He's not charged the Q just yet. Of course, he's got to time it just by pure chance. That's going to be a little bit too early. The rest of the team disengaged in time. And this will be Diamond's pretty easy pickup there. Smites it at the right time. Alex picks up a bunch of hundreds of gold by killing off some minions up at the top. And Gambit are just still in control.
Speaking of hundreds of gold, if we check how much they have right now before they go and buy, you have 2,500 on Genja, you have 2,000 on Alex, you have 1,100 or more onto Darren and Diamond. I mean, if they weren't already far enough ahead right now with the gold lead they have, they're going to be even further ahead with the items. We even see a Trinity Force picked up on Darien.
Well, that means he's going to be doing way too much damage for EG to deal with, of course. Malzahar once again grabbing the blue buff. So Snoopy has gotten that every single time, and he is an AP carry. Just to mention that one, if EG can find a good team fight where they're not getting just chunked out by Alex, they've got a lot of damage threats. That is the one thing EG has in their favor, that pretty much everyone in that lineup, aside from Crepo, does have a lot of damage output. The problem is Gambit engage hard, they wither a good target, and their damage output is just super ridiculous high, and they kill everything they want.
And their comp is based more around the team fighting, where EG just wants to pick someone off, but because they lost control of their jungle, because Edwards always has an Oracle on him now, they just can't do anything. We do see Edward getting caught right now, though.
Oh, he flashes the wall and actually manages to juke away from the Varus ulti, but they've got a 5v4 and he goes back in. It's going to be a bunch of damage on the Genja. Froggen in the middle finds the loot ult as well. There's the unstoppable force used on the Genja, but he does not go down. Froggen's really under pressure. Legendary Alex Ich finds 1, 2, 3, 4. Is it going to be 5? I can't actually tell. Everyone is dead, and it is. It's a pentakill. Pentakill for Alex Ich, and that's a good way to do it, just playing leapfrog onto that one.
And we talked about not letting him play Kha'Zix. He just squashed him like ants because he was jumping back and forth the entire time. Gambit should be able to close out this game as they have 30 seconds left on the respawn timers of EG, and they have that Baron buff. Well played game by Gambit. Really well played.
24-4. Absolutely impressive performance by Gambit. The Nexus goes down, and that is theirs.
And the biggest thing you have to point out during this entire game, 0-0-19 Edward. He already had the highest KDA in the league. That is just going to shoot him up even higher.
And for once, he did not kill secure a single time. So
I'm disappointed.
This is